Fellow explorers, today we are eating at Paradise Dynasty, the hottest Chinese restaurant to open in Southern California in a number of years. They specialize in Xiao Long Bao, and in particular, this multicolor Xiao Long Bao. There are 8 different flavors here, and this restaurant is in the same plaza as Tai Fung, which is my favorite restaurant for Xiao Long Bao. If you don't know what Xiao Long Bao is, these are soup dumplings. So each one of these dumplings has soup inside. We're gonna try these in a second, and we're gonna try a number of different items, and I'm gonna compare this to Tai Fung. There's sort of an interesting story about how Paradise Dynasty got to open in South Coast Plaza that I'll tell you as we go. But I also want to point out their tea comes in these nice golden containers for tea. Jasmine tea, $2 a person. On the table to go along with the Xiao Long Bao, you get ginger, you get some chili sauce, and the table comes with vinegar. If you want soy sauce, you have to ask for that because they expect you're going to eat it with vinegar. The way you eat Xiao Long Bao is you pick it up lightly from the top because it's filled with soup. So here, come in closer and kind of look at this. You see when I tap on this, the whole thing kind of moves around because it's soupy, and if you pick it up from here, it'll break. So definitely don't do that. So pick it up gingerly from the top and then dip it into here with your soy sauce and your vinegar. Oh, I got a soup leak. Well, that's okay, because that's why we have the spoon close by. I put a little bit of ginger in it, and now we're gonna go ahead and eat this. And you could put the whole thing in your mouth, but I'm here with OC Girl, so I'm just gonna eat half so she can have the other half. They're good. It's a nice, flavorful soup. It's a very thin skin, good ginger. This is a pretty good Xiao Long Bao. Next up, it's Yellow Productions. Let's go for the yellow one. What is this one? This one is the cheese Xiao Long Bao. We'll dip that, a little bit of the soy sauce. We'll get a little bit of the ginger. And what does a cheese Xiao Long Bao taste like? I've never had a cheese Xiao Long Bao. I think I just got skin right there, so I'm gonna go for another bite. It's cheesy. Maybe you can see right here, there's the cheese from the Xiao Long Bao, and there's the pork. So it's pork and cheese. Maybe it tastes like a string cheese that's been melted. So if you like string cheese, you like kind of mozzarella cheese, pretty good. I think I probably like the original one better though. Next up, we're gonna do foie gras. I'm just gonna pick this. Whoa, we lost some soup again. See, I told you how to do this, and I even have a hard time because the skin is so thin. It tastes good. I like it. I guess it had pork and a little bit of the foie gras inside. Interesting flavor. A little more greasy, I think, with the foie gras taste. So that one was a little greasy. Let's go for something a little healthy on the side. Let's go for the gourd Xiao Long Bao. This one in the pork has more veggies in it, so it's not vegetarian, but it does have this strong gourd vegetable flavor to it. Next up, we have black truffle, definitely a delicacy item. I want to not break this. We'll put it in the spoon. This one, I can smell it and taste it before I even break into it. I really like mushrooms and I really like truffles. I think this one is probably my favorite so far. All right, there's 3 left. Let's go for a different color. Let's go for the crab roe. Tai Fung has a truffle Xiao Long Bao like we saw before, and they also have a crab one. So let's see what Paradise Dynasty's crab Xiao Long Bao tastes like. The soup is a more orange color in here. I don't know whether that comes from the orange coloring of the outside or the crab. It's a light crab taste. This one doesn't have as strong of a crab flavor as a Tai Fung, so if you really like crab, I would get the crab and pork Xiao Long Bao from Tai Fung instead of this one. Okay, there's 2 left, the spicy ones, Sichuan and garlic, so let's go ahead and do garlic. I've stopped dipping it into soy sauce because I just want to taste these the way they are. I like this one too. I like garlic. It's not overly powerful garlicky. Just a light garlic flavor. minutes, you won't be blown away by the garlic in this. All right, one left, the red one, the spicy one, the Sichuan one. Picking this up super carefully so I don't drop any spicy juice.
How's everything so far for you guys? Good?
Everything's good. Yeah, it's spicy. It's good.
That was my favorite actually.
Yeah, it has that Sichuan spice that kind of like lingers afterwards.
Yeah, the numbness.
Yes, indeed. My tongue is getting a little bit number as I talk. It's not too bad because like when you eat Sichuan food and you have a lot of it, then your tongue gets really numb. But with just one, it's a good spiciness to end the 8. So another unique item here is the stir-fried shredded pork with black bean sauce served with Chinese crepes, these little burrito kind of things. So the way we eat this is we take one of these little burrito crepes and we get some of this pork in it. They kind of look like noodles, though they're not noodles, they're all meat. This dish is $14.80. We put them in here. It reminds me a little bit of Peking duck, how it's served sometimes. And then we can just kind of roll this up like we would do a burrito and go ahead and dive in to our pork burrito. This one's immediately flavorful, immediately tasty. It's good. It's been sitting on the side for a little while we finished our Xiao Long Bao, but quite tasty. And I would definitely get this again. Neat, unique dish. By the way, my tongue still a little bit numb from that Sichuan Xiao Long Bao. Now, in addition to Xiao Long Bao, they have a lot of other dim sum items served all day. This is the pan-fried kurabata pork bun. It's kind of a bigger Xiao Long Bao that's thicker and pan-fried. We can take a look at this piece right here. You can see it's soft on top, it's thicker, and then it's got that pan fry at the bottom. I'm gonna put this underneath to make sure I don't drip all over the table. But you can see it's got the soupy inside that comes out right there. If we let the soup out on the plate, you can see that's the soup that's in this. They're pretty good. I like these pan-fried pork buns, and I've had them from a number of places around California, Tasty Noodle House, place in LA. I think this is actually going to be one of my favorites because it's light and it's fluffy and it's not too greasy. A lot of these are often super greasy. These are $2.80 each, and you have to order at least 3. But I think one person could eat 3, no problem. They also have an extensive selection of noodles. This is the Dan Noodles, which is spicy sesame and peanut. Come in and take a look at this. They're very thin noodles in this spicy sauce. You can see the peanut on top of it. We'll pick these noodles up. They're very light. And so let's go ahead and dive into these noodles. It's a good peanutty flavor. The spice kind of comes in a bit afterwards. This was one of the ones that was recommended to us by the waiter as one of his favorite things to eat. And one of my issues sometimes I have with Dan Noodles is they're too spicy or they're too peanutty. I think this one's actually a pretty perfect combination of both those flavors. Another comparison item with Din Tai Fung, pork chop fried rice. They have it here, they have it at Din Tai Fung. I find the best way to eat this is to put the fried rice in the bowl. So we put a little bit of rice in there. We'll go ahead and put a piece of pork chop in there. And then, you know, rice is like really hard to eat with chopsticks for me, so I actually like to use the spoon to go with this. I really enjoy this at Din Tai Fung, so I want to see what it tastes like here. The fried rice is good, it's flavorful, it's moist. Let's see how the pork chop tastes. A lot of good spices on the pork chop, definitely a multi-layered taste to it. soft, not overcooked, done just right. I like this too. I think Din Tai Fung's, when it's fresh and hot, could be just a little bit better, but we often get Din Tai Fung to go, and by the time it's cooled down for about 10 minutes, then this tastes about the same. Also, quite good. Okay, so overall, what's my assessment? Well, before I tell you that, I want to tell you the funny story about them opening here, but I have to pay the check first. Okay, so we paid the bill. It was $65. Now, the story about this place opening here is Paradise Dynasty was actually looking to open in Southern California, approached different malls that have Din Tai Fungs in them, Glendale, other places, and South Coast Plaza, and none of the malls that had a Din Tai Fung would allow Paradise Dynasty to open there. So how did they open South Coast Plaza that has a Din Tai Fung? Well, they're in this place called The Collage. It's like a new food hall at Bloomingdale's. That Bloomingdale's subleased this to The Collage, and then The Collage subleased it to Paradise Dynasty. So that's how Paradise Dynasty was able to get into a mall in Southern California where Din Tai Fung is, which is why this video is all about how does this place compare to Din Tai Fung, because they're in the same mall, just 5 minutes from each other. So let me share my final thoughts with you. I do like the seating area here. I also like, just look over here. I don't know if we've looked over here, but you can see this is where they're making all the Xiao Long Bao. We have this really neat seat here. There's 2 booths that you can sit right next to this. This is different than Din Tai Fung. At Din Tai Fung, they have it right up at the front, so more people can see it and go by. This is a pretty cool seat. So if you get here early, maybe ask to sit in this booth. Now, Paradise Dynasty is in their soft opening phase, so they're like not filling all the seats right now, and if you want to get in, there's long lines in the morning. We got here at 10:40 for 11 a.m. opening. We got in no problem, but if you get here like 10:55, you'll be in the second seating waiting at least an hour. So get here at least 15 minutes before they open for lunch if you want to get a seat. The food quality, I think, was quite good. I liked the 8-flavor Xiao Long Bao as a thing to eat one time. I don't think I really need to get that again, frankly. Like, it was really interesting, don't get me wrong, but I don't think I would get it again. I like the taste of the original one, so I think if I came back, I would get more just the original Xiao Long Bao, and I would try some other dishes on the menu. Honestly, I think the 8-flavor Xiao Long Bao is kind of like one of those like come-on items to be like, hey, this looks really cool, come and get it, get an Instagram picture. You'll like our food, so then you'll want to come back and try more, and it absolutely did that for us. We will definitely be back again. But if I'm picking between Paradise Dynasty or Din Tai Fung for the Xiao Long Bao, I think I would pick the one that has the shorter wait, because they taste pretty similar. The one thing that isn't quite on par here as at Din Tai Fung is just the service and the cleanliness. A lot of things weren't quite as sharp here, and maybe it's because they're still in their soft opening and they're still working that out. So the first one of those service cleanly things are definitely these soy sauce and vinegar containers. They don't feel as clean here. They were refrigerated, come out of the fridge, they've got condensation on the side. I think they maybe drip a little bit too. When the soy sauce container came to our table, and you can see right here, this is actually how it looked when it came here fresh with these little soy sauce rings on the table. So I'm sure they cleaned it, but they filled it up, it leaks a little bit, and then you get that. At Din Tai Fung, that never happens because they hand wipe everything before they bring it to the table. At Din Tai Fung, the to-go bags are these fancy Din Tai Fung bags, and they help you package it to go too. Here they just bring you the bag and they bring in the containers and leave it up to you. Does that change the quality of the food? No, but it does just change the overall vibe and the ambiance. I will say though, I've never gotten more napkins than in any other restaurant. They came by every 5 minutes and put more napkins on our table, maybe because they thought we were really filthy people. I don't know, but if your travels bring you to Orange County, California, I would highly recommend you check out Paradise Dynasty. It's good. You can get dim sum all day. You can also check out their shrimp ramen restaurant down below in the basement. If you're interested in shrimp ramen, it's also the first shrimp ramen broth restaurant in the USA. You can check out my video right here, all about that. As usual, I won't say goodbye because I'm going to see you over in that video with the shrimp ramen.